If you know me, you know I like aggro decks. There were two new cards spoiled for Ikoria today that look like they're going to give me some new aggro deck toys to build around, and I can't wait to talk to you about them. The video starts right now. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. I am Joel. We're going to talk about the two new aggro toys. I can't wait to build into my aggro decks in Standard. But first, if you like the video, by the end of it, if you would hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Jumping over into these cards, this is the first one. So, normally up until about the end of last year, whenever a new Phoenix card would be spoiled, it's just, oh, pshaw, another Phoenix. But it seems like in the later sets last year into this year, we have had some Phoenixes that have been very impactful in Standard. Looking at Everquill Phoenix, I kind of hope that that's going to be the case. Everquill Phoenix is a flying 4/4 for 4 with a mutate ability of 1 red, 3 other. The mutate ability says whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with pay 1, sacrifice Feather, return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Now, I'm looking at this in sort of the Gruul aggro deck that's been bouncing around. If you've got a Spellbreaker on the field, you've got a 3/3 or a 4/4 already. However, paying 4 to give it flying is a thing that will make it maybe more able to kind of punch through and get that damage on the opponent. But when the creature mutates, creating a red artifact token, whenever they kill the creature, we're going to be able to bring back a Phoenix from our graveyard, so we can bring back this exact card as a flying 4/4 that'll just kind of continuously come back. I really like how you can put it onto something like a Spellbreaker, for instance, or even, Runaway Steamkin, something like that. Give it base power 4/4 because whichever creature is on top of a mutate ability is going to be the power toughness. It's not going to augment that at all and make it a super powerful card. But this does have the ability to give something flying to get some points of damage across, and then bring back a flying 4/4 when you do have that creature inevitably die. Because it is interesting to note and relevant to note that as a 4 toughness creature, this does get hit by the 2 red, 2 other Wrath that is in red right now, and obviously it gets hit by the Wrath of God style effects that we have in white as well. What we need is some kind of very large threat to stomp on through, and that's why I think that Yadaro, Wandering Monster, will actually see some constructed play. Trample Haste for an 8/8 for 5, 6, 7 mana, but it's got cycling of 1 red and 1 other, and when you cycle Yadaro, you shuffle it into your library from your graveyard, and then if you've cycled a card named Yadaro 4 or more times this game, put it onto the battlefield from your graveyard instead. So all that means is we've got to cycle this card 4 times, and then every single time we go to play it, we're going to be able to pay 1 red, 1 other for a Trampling Haste 8/8. That seems like a pretty good way to finish out a deck, especially in something like a Gruul deck. I don't think that this is right for mono red, because let's go through the math on it. We can cycle it for the first time on turn 2, 1 red, 1 other on turn 2. Then on turn 3, we could do it again unless we were able to ramp on turn 1 with a goose or something like that. So the earliest that you could possibly have this off is probably turn 4. On turn 4, you can either cycle 2 of them if you happen to have 2 in your hand and you've already done it twice before, which is kind of tough to achieve. Or you could cycle it a 4th time because you cycled it twice on turn 3 and still have some mana left over with your Trample Hasting 8/8 ready to beat in. It's kind of an interesting build because you have to think, if you're playing it on turn 2, you're not doing anything else. Same as turn 3. If you even have 4 of these in your deck, it being a legendary anyway, if you have 4 of them, if you've built 4 into your deck, then even the odds of getting those 3 are not super high, and so you have to have some kind of deck that's going to stall a little bit, do some other damage, put some pressure on. This seems more of like a long game for me with Yadaro, and it's interesting because at 7 mana, you get a Trampling Haste 8/8. That's not a terrible trade-off, especially living in the world that we live in right now with Growth Spiral and Uro and all the crazy amount of ramp Nissa. You can get to 7 mana pretty simply. And I guess having the cycling ability would really work in a teamer build like that, so that you've got access to green and blue for all of the ramp, and then you Yadaro, either late game, it's ready to go as a Trampling Hasting 8/8, or you're able to cycle it 4 times, and it just kind of keeps coming back. With these 2 cards, as has been a theme with Ikoria, we've got some alternate art, and I think this is why I'm the most drawn to Yadaro Wandering Monster, because they've made a special edition version of Yadaro called Godzilla Doom Inevitable. Same exact card, except it's got some super dope Godzilla art on it, with like tentacles of probably Ghidorah, some kind of creature in the background. You've got F-16s flying back there in the art. This is just super, super cool for a mono red creature. You know, it doesn't really work in Commander because you really want to take advantage of the cycling ability. If you use it in Commander, you've got an 8/8 with Trample and Haste for 7 mana. That's fine. That's not excellent, but I really do think that this card was built to possibly have some utility in Standard, and it's one of the cards that I'm most looking forward to brewing first, to see if we can really get to a point where we are reliably and competitively playing an 8/8 Trampling Hasting creature for only 2 mana. That's really what I want to do. Look out for more ongoing spoiler video discussions, reactions from us as the set continues to come out. So far, Ikoria looks pretty sick, and we are going to continue tracking it and giving you our opinions on it. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to support us further, we got a Patreon with monthly giveaways going on. Go check that out and see if you're a good fit. And if you want to hang out with us, we are streaming twice weekly over on Twitch. We appreciate it. We'll catch you later.